we're going to do a little test and a review of the Milwaukee M18 searchlight. What is up, everybody, and welcome to the channel. Today we are going to do a little test and review on the Milwaukee M18 searchlight. This is the tool only, and we got a couple Milwaukee reviews to do, and we ended up with the tools only because we have quite a few Milwaukee tools here and quite a few M18 batteries, so we just needed the tools. So we're just going to do the review on the tool, and I'm going to get a battery, put it in, and then we're going to head outside to see what functions it has and if it's actually worth it and if it holds up to what they say it holds up. But here's how it comes with just a tool. It's not big and not too heavy, but they do claim that this has 1250 lumens running on 4 hours and then 600 lumens running on 7 hours. So I guess there is two settings on this, as you can see here, the different beam patterns, and this says that it also strobes. So let's get to opening this up and see what it looks like and how it's packaged. And just by looking at it and telling about the construction of the material, it is made from Milwaukee's shock resistance plastic, and here is a little booklet you get with the tool, and I guess you could register your tool. So they just give you a little like catalog flyer or something here that has all the different Milwaukee stuff on it. So we're just going to throw this off to the side, and then it also gives you some instructions on what is expected of your light. And here is the light, and pretty neat actually. It looks like a pivot head here, and it pivots. Wow, you could actually stand it up to where you could have it shining that way, lay it down and shine. So it has about, say, 100 to 200 degree turn. I think the box says 198 degree radius on this, but there's a mode button here and then the power button here. However, it does have heat vents up here, so this way the light can dissipate the heat. And looking at the front of the lens, I'm not going to turn this on and blind you guys or anything like that, but looking at the front of the lens, it has LEDs in each corner, so that must be for the floodlight, and your spotlight must be here in the center. And here is the battery that we will be using in this, and this is the Red Lithium M18 XC 5.0, and as you can see, like with all the reviews I'll do, to make sure we have a full battery when we do our reviews. And this battery is at full. As you can see, all the bars are lit up. And actually, this is not that heavy. It is front heavy without the battery in it. And it does look like it has a hook here, as if you wanted to hang it on something to store it somewhere. So that's a good feature. So with the battery in it, oh, the light came right on. Now the light's off. Now with the battery on it, it seems like it's equally balanced. So carrying this will not be really too bad. I like its slim design. So there's not much to do or say with this unboxing or anything like that, but let's take it outside and give it a little test and check out the different mode systems that it has. Well, we're outside now behind the shop, and I am going to turn on the searchlight, and I'll hit the first button, and that is the floodlight. So let me hit the mode button and we'll see what comes on next. And there is the spotlight, and that's what the spot. Look, some rabbits back there. There goes a rabbit over there. It's a good thing we don't have the Bugle and Beagle out here wanting to take those rabbits. Wow. Well, anyway, so this is the spot beam, and back there where it's shining on that tree with the V, that is approximately about 50 yards. And then you'll see the little pine tree there. And then just beyond that pine tree, looking down through there, back to, I could probably see at least a good 100, 150 yards, maybe. So the spot beam is not too bad. Now let's hit the mode again. Now it looks like it gives us a spot beam and a flood beam. So here's the yard. You see my brush pile, my wood pile back there. But it is not bad at all with the spot. That's with the spot and flood. So I am going to hit the mode again and see what happens. Now we're back to the flood, which seems to be a little bit higher flood maybe. I'm not sure. Let's cycle through this again. We have the spot. We have the flood and spot. Just the flood, which is actually lighting up my whole backyard here. And then we go back to the spot. Now, it says it does have strobe, but let's see what the strobe looks like. I think you got to double tap this, so I'm going to double tap it on the spot beam and see what happens. Nothing, so let me hold the button down. Okay, there is the spotlight, or the strobe light. For emergency purposes, in case you're in an emergency to signal somebody, that seems to be pretty good. So I'm going to take off this. Okay, there, I pushed the mode button once again, and it took it off strobe. So here we are back in spot. Like I said, back there is about, I could see back as far as probably about 150 yards. Not too bad. Not as bright as I thought it would have been. Back to the, oh, turned it off. Back to the spot. There's the spot and flood. Back to just the flood. Back to just the spot. Not too bad. So let me go back. Let's go back inside and see my final review on this and my final thoughts. So let's go over some pros and cons just by using it briefly. What I think about this, why I choose the Milwaukee Searchlight over another brand, Streamlight or something like that. So it's Milwaukee's well construction, and the grip is textured. So if you're wearing gloves or if your hands are wet being outside, it won't slip. I like the fact I like the fact that the head swivels in both directions, and somewhat it points down just a little bit as if you're down to the ground a hair. So if you have it on flood, it will illuminate the area, so you could set it up on end like this, or you could go that way with it. You could also lay it down this way, lay it flat, and point it up, point it down. The fact that there's 4 modes on this are pretty nice. You have the floodlight with the 4 lights on the outside is what makes up the floodlight. And then you have the spot beam in the center. And then you could also put on your spot beam and your floodlight to give you a brighter distance in your flood pattern. And the fact that there's also an emergency mode on this by doing it with putting it in strobe mode. So if there's a couple of yous out there, you're out there in the wilderness or out there in the woods or on the job site, and your job site, say, is down a pipeline or on the other side of a building or another building over, you need to signal somebody, or if you fall with the light, and you could put it on strobe, and you could signal somebody for help. They'll see the strobe light, they should see that no problem, and they should be able to get to you. So using the strobe light as a signaling device is very nice, very well thought out with this. The fact that if you have an M18 battery and an M18 line handy to you, all the batteries are interchangeable, and you could get the different size M18 batteries to make it last longer. I like the 5.0s only because of their weight. The downside on this, the con, I believe the spot pattern could be a little bit brighter for the distance it was going. Being that it's only at 1250 lumens, I have used other spotlights that were 1000 lumens, 1200 lumens. It just seemed to carry that very distinctive spot pattern just that little bit further, but for the same amount of distance, it seemed to be held up well. But once again, those are specifically designed for just strictly spotlighting, and this is more or less like a searchlight, they call it, because it has the flood patterns on it and the spotlight and then the strobe light. So for an emergency responder to have one of these on their trucks, it's pretty handy, because you could put it on the back of a bed or something like that, angle it down, and whatever direction you might need it, lay it flat so it doesn't fall over, and point it down. I do like that. And on the side, over time, by using this, I could see the head on this starting to wear out, possibly. However, I did check. All it takes on the side is a torque bit, so you might be able to tighten these up just a hair to snug it up as they loosen up, and believe you'd be good to go. And also, if you've been watching the channel, you guys seen that I did a review on the stick light. This also has screws in each corner to where this, you could replace the lens if the lens gets damaged or scratched or anything like that. So I do like that. And I do like the fact that it's light, and there's a little hook here, so if you have a screw in the wall or something, you just put that, a nail in there, and you could hang it up inside your shop or anything like that. I have it handy. Very readily available for you. Well, that's pretty much what I have. But if you are new to the channel, hit that like, comment, and subscribe button. Don't forget to ring that notification bell, because like the other videos, we got more Milwaukee products to do a review on. So I'm hoping to see you then. Well, I hope this video helps you out. Till next time, I'm Joe. Driving trucks and hunting bucks is how I roll it. Wicked Fabz!